Hello students, so in today's class we are going to learn the another theory called molecular orbital theory, in short term, which is also known as MOT, molecular orbital theory. In before class we have seen valency bond theory, Vesper theory and all. So molecular orbital theory, it explains more about the atoms, okay, and the molecules, how they are formed and how their magnetic character and all. So in this we are going to learn all these things. This molecular orbital theory was developed or proposed by scientists named Hahn and Mulliken. These are the two scientists who proposed or who developed this theory, named Hahn and Mulliken. If we see their postulates, the first postulate was, so in an atom where the electrons are present around the orbitals, isn't it? So just as an electron of an atom present in various atomic orbitals, the electrons which are present in the molecules are also present in various molecular orbitals. So what is the first point? In molecules, electrons are present in molecular orbitals. So how molecular orbitals are formed? So when two atoms combine, a molecule is formed. The same way, molecular orbitals are formed by the combination of atomic orbitals of same energies and proper symmetry. That means, so here atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbitals. So atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbital. So here another point we are going to get, how many number of atomic orbitals are combined, it should be equal to the number of molecular orbitals formed. So number of molecular orbitals should be equal to number of atomic orbitals, isn't it? So what I said, atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbitals. So how many number of atomic orbitals are combined, that many number of molecular orbitals should be formed. So here about electron, while an electron in atomic orbital is influenced by one nucleus, for example, so look at here this is one nucleus is present, here electron is present for one atom, isn't it? So this electron got influenced by only one nucleus, but whereas in molecules two atoms are combined and electrons will be present. So here what is going to be happen? In a molecular orbital, it is influenced by two or more nuclei depending upon the number of atoms present in a molecule. So in one atom only one nucleus is present. If two or more atoms, two or more nucleus are present. So what the electron is going to be experienced? The electron is going to be experienced more. So all these electrons, the electrons which are present here experience number of nucleus, number of nucleus which are present in their atoms. So thus an atomic orbital is monocentric. Atomic orbital is monocentric. That means it is having only one nucleus. But molecular orbital is polycentric. So atomic orbital is monocentric, but whereas molecular orbital is polycentric. So as I said here, a number of molecular orbitals formed should be equal to the number of atomic orbitals combined, isn't it? So here when two atomic orbitals combine, two molecular orbitals are formed. When two atomic orbitals are combined, two molecular orbitals formed. In that, one is known as bonding molecular orbital, while the another one is called anti-bonding molecular orbital. bonding molecular orbital. So look at here, when two atomic orbitals combine, two molecular orbitals are formed. So two molecular orbitals are formed. In that, one will be bonding molecular orbital and other will be anti-bonding molecular orbital. So the bonding mark 6 point is the bonding molecular orbital has low energy. Bonding molecular orbital has lower energy So when they are having lower energy, it is having greater stability. So this will be opposite for the anti-bonding molecular orbital. For anti-bonding molecular orbital, it will be having higher energy and stability will be less. And next point, 7th point. So just as the electron probability distribution around the nucleus in an atom is given by atomic orbital, means so where the electron density is present around the nucleus in an atom. So the electron probability of means the electron density finding probability distribution around a group of nuclei in a molecule is given by molecular orbital. Understood, children? And the next one, the molecular orbitals like atomic orbitals are filled in accordance with the Hofbauer principle, obeying the Pauli's exclusion principle and the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. That means, so here, so whenever we are going to fill the atomic orbital, they have to follow Hofbauer principle. Okay, Hofbauer principle. So here what do you mean by Hofbauer principle? It has to follow. So whenever we are going to fill the atomic orbitals, they have to be filled according to their energy level. For example, 1s2, 2s2, like this. Okay, 1s2, 2s2, 3s2, 3p6, so on. So according to the increasing order of their energy levels, basing on that means basing on this Hofbauer principle, we have to fill the electrons in this way. And next one, that means lowest energy levels to the highest energy. And the next one, it should follow it is also follow the Pauli's principle. So in Pauli's principle, what we are going to follow, children? We have to follow the opposite. For example, in an orbital, one electron in this position, the next electron should be in with opposite spin, isn't it? But whenever the two electrons are present in same spin, it is not correct. This will be correct and this will be wrong. So you have to fill the electrons in opposite spin. Electrons should be paired. Opposite spin electrons should be paired. So this is Pauli's principle. And next one. And what is the last rule we have to follow? We have to follow Hund's rule also. Okay, Hund's rule. So what the Hund's rule tells about? So the fully filled atomic orbitals having greater stability than half filled than partially filled. That means first we have to fill the lowest energy with opposite spin like this, and next one 2s2 orbital like this, okay, with opposite spin, and next 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. I am taking for oxygen. So here 4 electrons are present. First we have to fill half of the means 3 electrons should be filled like this, and the 4th electron should be filled like this. So this is Hund's rule. So already we have discussed all these rules. So all these rules we have to follow in molecular orbital theory. So next rule. Just as the letters S, P, D are used to denote the atomic orbitals, the Greek letters sigma, pi and delta are used to denote molecular orbitals. So how we are using SPDF block means SPDF orbitals to denote atomic orbitals. Same way the Greek letters sigma, pi, delta are used to denote molecular orbitals. So next one is formation of molecular orbitals. So first we have seen the postulates. So what are the postulates? In molecules, electrons are present in molecular orbitals. Atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbitals. And next, number of molecular orbitals formed should be equal to the number of atomic orbitals combined. Next, atomic orbitals is monocentric. Okay, it is monocentric. Here I have given example, but molecular orbitals are polycentric. Next one, polycentric. Here molecular orbitals, how many atomic orbitals are combined? For example, 2 atomic orbitals are combined means 2 molecular orbitals are formed. In that, one should be bonding, another will be anti-bonding. For bonding, molecular orbital will be having lower energy with greater stability, and anti-bonding molecular orbital will be having higher energy with less stability. Next, it has to follow Aufbau principle, Pauli's principle and Hund's rule when we filling the electrons in molecular orbitals. So just as SPDF orbitals we used to denote atomic orbitals, the Greek letters sigma, pi, delta are used to denote molecular orbitals. So next one is formation of a molecular orbital. So how molecular orbitals are formed? Molecular orbitals are formed by the combination of atomic orbitals of the bonded atoms. So in previous we have learned, according to the wave mechanics, atomic orbitals can be expressed in by wave functions, isn't it? Similarly, we can write Schrödinger wave equation for the whole molecule. We can write Schrödinger wave equation, that psi equation for the whole molecule, but it is very difficult. It is very difficult to write that wave equation. So to overcome this problem, scientists have used an appropriate method known as linear combination of atomic orbitals. Linear combination of atomic orbitals with short form LCAO. Okay, LCAO. In short form we can write LCAO. Okay, children. So here the application of LCAO method for to the homonuclear diatomic hydrogen molecule. So here we are taking example as homonuclear, means same molecule, H2 molecule I have taken. So here 2 hydrogens are there, in which one is named as hydrogen A and another one is named as hydrogen B. So each hydrogen atom is having only one electron in its s orbital, isn't it? So these atomic orbitals may be represented by the wave function as psi A, psi B. Okay, psi A and psi B. So mathematically the function of the molecular orbital is described by the linear combination of atomic orbitals that can take place by the addition or by subtraction of wave functions of individual atomic orbitals. Okay, so here the two molecular orbitals formed are sigma star. Sigma equal to psi A plus psi B. Sigma star is formed when psi A minus psi B. By addition of these two hydrogens forms molecular orbital. By subtraction of these two molecules by subtraction of these two psi A and psi B, we are going to get sigma star. So the molecular orbital sigma formed by the addition of atomic orbitals called bonding molecular orbitals. This one is bonding molecular orbitals. When it is a psi star, it is used for anti-bonding molecular orbital. So here psi star by subtraction of atomic orbitals, which is called anti-bonding molecular orbital. So once again, in a linear combination of atomic orbitals, example I have taken hydrogen H2 molecule. So it can be represented as HA and HB. The electronic configuration for hydrogen is 1s1 for both, and it can be represented as wave functions. Okay, the atomic orbitals may be represented by the wave functions like psi A and psi B for hydrogen A and hydrogen B. Okay, the molecular orbital sigma is formed by the addition of atomic orbitals. So whenever addition takes place, sigma bond is formed. Whenever subtraction takes place, sigma star anti-bonding molecular orbital will be formed. So the order of energies of bonding and anti-bonding orbital. So look at here, children. So molecular orbital diagram. Here one orbital, here one orbital, here one orbital, here one orbital. This is psi A, psi B. It has a joint like this. Okay, so the bonding orbital will be here. Sigma equal to psi A plus psi B, and anti-bonding orbital will be here. That is sigma star equal to psi A minus psi B. So the energy level will be increased. This one is lower energy. This one is higher energy. So here the energy of this one is anti-bonding, isn't it? This one is anti-bonding, this one is bonding. So the energies of anti-bonding orbital is raised above the energy than the parent atomic orbital that have combined. So these are the atomic orbitals combined. So here one electron, here one electron. For this is for hydrogen 1, this is for hydrogen 2, and one electron will be here and one electron will be present. So two are combined. So two atomic orbitals are formed. Okay, two electrons will be present here. For example, I am saying, so here the energy of the anti-bonding will be higher than the energy of bonding atomic orbital. So one is high and one is low. So the total energy of the two molecular orbitals, however, remains the same as that of the two original atomic orbitals. So this is about energy diagram. Next one is conditions for the combination of atomic orbitals. So what are the conditions we have to follow? So what are the conditions we have to follow? First condition is the combining atomic orbitals must have same or nearly same energy. So look at here, children. What is the first condition? The combining atomic orbitals must have same energy or nearly the same energy. This means, for example, in 1s orbital can combine with another 1s orbital only. So 1s orbital should combine with another 1s orbital, but 1s orbital should not combine with 2s orbital. So this one is correct, this one is wrong, because these two are having nearly same energy or same energy, but these two are having different energy, isn't it, which is higher than the other. So this is not correct. So this one is correct. That means 1s orbital should be combined with 1s orbital only. That means whatever orbitals are going to be combined, they should have same energy. And the next condition is the combining atomic orbitals must have same symmetry about the molecular axis. Second, so look at the next condition. The combining atomic orbitals must have same symmetry about the molecular axis. That means, for example, Z axis is taken as a molecular axis. So we have to we have to note that the atomic orbitals having same or nearly same energy will not combine if they do not have the same symmetry. If they do not have the same symmetry, for example, 2pz orbital of one atom can combine with 2pz orbital of the other atom, but not with, that means 2pz atomic orbital of one atom can combine with 2pz orbital of the other atom, but not 2pz orbital will not combine with 2px or 2py, because the axes are different, isn't it? So here 2pz orbital of one atom can combine with 2pz orbital of the other atom, but not with 2px or 2py orbital because of their different symmetry. So this one is correct, this one is wrong. They cannot combine like this. That is the second point. And third point, the combining atomic orbitals must overlap to the maximum extent. So greater the extent of overlap, the greater will be the electron density between the nuclei of the molecular orbital. So the combining atomic orbitals must overlap to the maximum extent. So the combining atomic orbitals must overlap to the maximum extent. So these are the conditions for formation of molecular orbitals. So this is some introduction regarding molecular orbital theory. In the next class we are going to see the types of molecular orbital theory and energy diagrams for some of the molecules. Thank you, children.